Guys, fun. I gotta put my glass on because this sun is just killing me today. Handsome, come here. Now I want to show you guys a couple of dogs. You don't know this, but I have service dogs. I had a service dog, and she had puppies, and she passed away. She had a litter of like, I think it was 9, and only one survived. Thank God for that. And then one by one, we started rescuing dogs. We rescued a dog that was down in the sewer. Oh man, this was a beautiful dog. It was actually a baby Labrador. It was about this big, and it was covered in mud and all kinds of stickers and shit. What do you say, handsome? Okay, so after that dog passed away, I took that puppy dog with me when I went to work with Topos in Mexico City. And I remember, I've never lived in Mexico City, but I really liked this girl, and I wanted to stay there like a dummy. I liked that girl because she was a dentist. I liked the other girl because she worked for the electric company. I liked this other girl. She was a bum who made candles and had a great backstory. You guys are going to love the story I give you after I'm finished writing it. It's going to be probably the best BMT story you've ever heard in your life. But let's get back to dogs, because dogs for veterans are super important. Dogs have a calming effect on service members when they have anxiety, and dogs like this actually know how to respond. And I put my glasses on a lot, but they can read your eyes, and if you have that 1,000-yard stare, then these dogs actually know how to respond to you. So let me show you one of the service dogs that I have, and his name is Handsome. Handsome is a German Sepia Doberman Pinscher, which he's so powerful and so strong, and his bark is so bassy, incredible. I've had a lot of big dogs, like I've had Mastiffs and I've had Boxers, and I had a Cane Corso, which was a big ass, beautiful girl dog. But this one here is Handsome. Now let's take a look. Let's take a look at Handsome and see what he looks like. And you can see I didn't cut his ears because I didn't want to cut his ears. But his tail came, cut, so he came off of a farm that a German guy has, and that's Handsome. And that's my security dog. He's always with me. Anytime there's any shit. No, I mean, let me tell you something. You walk down the street with Handsome, it's like walking down the street with a loaded gun. All right, so let's talk about number 2, little service dog, and this is Honey. Honey is a mixture of a Chihuahua and a Dachshund. Adorable, long-eared Dachshund. She was so small. We found her in the street. She was about this big. I took it to the veterinarian because they all needed, vaccines and everything else. Give them their heartworms and shots and all that stuff. This dog is literally the reincarnation of the dog that passed away. I hate saying that, but you know what? The personality, the way this dog just adores me, the way that dog did, it was just a lot. It was just, this dog is so cute and adorable and doesn't give a shit. Like, I have other dogs that want to fight with her. She doesn't give a shit. Jumps on their face and licks them and just bats their face. And then I have Candela, and she is a dog that we rescued she was with her puppy, her other brothers and sisters, in a dog food bag that was tied shut, and some asshole threw it into my cornfields. So my neighbor, who works right there by the cornfields, is hearing wham, 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 wham. I'm like, what is that? It sounded like kittens. He opens the bag up, looks in, he says, it's dogs. I was like, give me them motherfuckers. So we look, and these are these little Mestiza, which is like a common Mexican street dog, but this is a special street dog because these are like rat terriers. Oh, me and MedTech. He's in Thailand. Look at that, man. Man, I'm happy to see you. Good to see you again. How's Thailand? My friend just left Thailand. He just left where you're at, and he's headed to Brazil. I think he's headed to Brazil. He's going to spend like a week there, so he's good. But let me show you the third dog, and that's Amigo. Amigo, come here. Come here. Let me see this dog. Come here. Labrador, now he's a big boy. Come here. Get up here. Up. He is docile and soft. He's the opposite of handsome. Handsome's he is a monster. This one here, though, is just adorable, cuddly Labrador mix. You can check it out. See right here? He's still medium size. And he's got these little paws like this. But he's super docile and sits on your lap. He loves to sit on people's laps. Again, he's one of these super friendly dogs. And I have Mealy, which is the little dog that was the puppy of my original service dog. And she just does whatever she wants. She's the alpha dog that is in charge of all dogs. No matter how many dogs come through here, it doesn't matter if it's a pit bull, if it's more of these. These are, I've been changing that. I don't know why. I don't know why they're private like that. But I keep having to go after the fact and change it to public. So, but I do appreciate you pointing that out. But these dogs are important to service members, and here's why. Because you can't really go to the VA hospital every time you have a panic attack, or anytime you have an episode of any kind. If you have flashbacks or anything that is war affiliated, or anything that you watch on TV that might cause triggers and anything like that, memories of war or of armed conflict, or of any trauma for that matter. And I mean, I don't want to get into it, but I'm just telling you guys that dogs really help a lot. I had another dog that ended up going to a farm, and it was the Great Pyrenees, the great big white ones. Probably the worst dog I ever had in my life. It didn't do anything. It was like literally untrainable. I couldn't find out that it's actually a wild animal. It's not a normal dog at all. These dogs, well, the Pyrenees Mountains, the one that they're bordering on Portugal and Spain, and these dogs have extra toes in the back for climbing and being like goats and being up on the mountains and stuff, because they watch sheep and things like that. And they just run like hell forever. So if you let the door open, this dog will literally go and go and go. And I had a pretty big property, and it would escape every single time. So now the dog's on a 55-acre ranch and doing well. It has a river, other animals and stuff like that. So it can just do whatever it wants. Yeah, it is a lot of responsibility. Fortunately for me, I have a staff of people that help me a lot with the dogs. There's a professional dog walking service that comes by once a day, takes all the dogs at the same time, and they all walk because it's a community type of thing, and they sit all the dogs down, and they have the leashes like laid out, and the dogs are laid out all together in a row, and they're required to just sit there all day. And if they're bad, they get tied to a tree across the way. But these trainers are so amazing. If you've never seen this before, just if you want, you can go on YouTube or Google and just look at dog walkers or dog trainers in Mexico City, and you'll see like Dobermans and German Shepherds and Pit Bulls all sitting in a row, not biting each other, not fighting, but neatly sitting in a row. Like my dogs are right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 service dogs here. So Amigo's the next one. He's probably going to go to a family that has a yard, but he's not big enough yet, because I usually train him till they're about a year and a half, and then I give him away to another family. He is not even a year old yet. Handsome's never going anywhere. It's my dog. This little turd ball right here, Honey, I tried to give to a family, but they just can't handle dogs. But at the same time, these are untrained service dogs. That's an untrained service dog. It needs to go to the camp because there's a camp that's nearby. And you can train your dogs either to be for trauma for veterans, for service members, or for children with autism. The third one is for elders, as in elderly people. And one of those dogs that I had was special for children with autism and old folks' homes. Because in old folks' homes, they would just sit next to the old people, and the old people just stroke them and pet them and everything else. It's a win-win situation. So the little dogs You know, they're good for travel. You can take them on the plane, you know, because they have their little vested service dog. They have a little card that goes with it. It says, a trained service dog, and you're allowed to be that. You are an emotional support dog, or whatever you want to call it. They have to, by law, respect it. So as far as Mexico, people don't treat their dogs well at all. They let their dogs run in the street. A lot of the dogs in the street are limping. A lot of the dogs in the street come to my house and break my coffee cups almost every time. I break my own cardinal rules sometimes when it comes to being online. Like, for example, this live here, I would normally never drink coffee. I would never drink anything online because nobody likes to hear or people eating except those AMSR people that like the sound of people eating. That's gross. So I tend to not drink or eat when I'm on, because I know how it grosses me out. I wouldn't want to do this, which I've sat and listened to Mr. Olympia have conversations over and just eating and like eating and eating and eating while he's on camera. Who is I? I was on live with one of the Olympians, not the Olympic champion, but one of them. God, so many. Oh, okay, fuck it, never mind. Let's talk about dogs, because dogs, man, are a staple part of life here in Mexico. You need to have a dog in your house, at least two, for protection. You need to have one at night because, let's face it, where I live isn't the nicest part. And although the people respect me and love me here, there are still people that assume automatically that because that person is not from here, they are wealthy. You're right. I'm fucking loaded. I am loaded, but I can't do shit about it. I have cameras outside. I have cameras inside. I have cameras out in the garage. I have cameras on the roof. I have a telescope on the roof for weather that can see from here to the fucking mountains and identify whatever kind of smoke that is. These dogs are useless for firefighting, but they're great for firefighters if they have trauma. Anyway, I'm the professor, and I got to turn this live stream from private into public. I have no idea why it would do that. Anyway, I'm the Professor Mex, and you can find me right here also, Professor Mex. Later, guys. Oh. If you have not discovered already, I went on to Facebook. So find me on Facebook, Professor Mex, and we'll chat on there.